Facebook is denying allegations from a former employee. The company is aware of the harm it does to underage users and continues to mislead the public about its research. Dr. Samuel Woolley, PhD, assistant professor in the School of Journalism and Media at the University of Texas at Austin and program director of the propaganda research team at the Center for Media Engagement at UT's Moody College of Communication, joins us this morning to talk more about the power of social media impact. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
So, Dr. Woolley, tell us, were you really surprised to hear these whistleblowers' allegations?
Unfortunately not. These things have been sort of rumbling underneath the surface for quite a while. We've known that there's been problems at Facebook since at least 2016, but even earlier. I've been studying propaganda and disinformation on social media since 2013, and we've been letting the social media companies know that there's problems with their informational systems all along. So, not really.
Right. Dr. Woolley, you really are the expert in this. You've even written a book about this. Your book, The Reality Game, it really looks into this new, what we call digital battlefield. How did a battle between true information and misinformation really continue to surface, bubble under the surface, so to speak?
Sure. So what we have is a real advances in computation and in AI, in automation, in the ways that computer systems work. And so what we have happening is basically a much more widespread and much more powerful propaganda system. We have things like deepfake video. We have things like VR and AR where lots of money are being invested. And so people can basically use thousands of fake profiles, what we call bot profiles, to amplify their messages online. Think about that person you know on Facebook that speaks about politics, then imagine them having 10,000 profiles behind them to do that. And you've kind of got what we have right now.
Wow, and it almost seems like an army of robots that is already existing.
Yeah, there certainly is. And different people use different strategies. It's what Facebook calls coordinated inauthentic behavior, and it's a massive problem across the internet.
Dr. Woolley, this impact is obviously massive. We can see in terms of facts and disinformation. Can you explain a little bit about what this is doing to society and even psychologically? I mean, these are some of the allegations this whistleblower came forward with.
Yeah, one of the things that the whistleblower came forward with was the fact that Facebook and Instagram in particular had knowledge of the fact that its platform is unhealthy and harmful for teenage girls. This is sort of one of the horrible things about the platform. It forces children to compare themselves to one another. It causes psychological harms. At the same time, there's also deep ideological and partisan rifts being caused by the use of these platforms. One of the things a lot of research shows is that polarization is on the rise, and there's a massive distrust in institutions, due in part at least to use of these platforms.
Right. Dr. Woolley, we of course know in my study, my area of expertise, there are many sides to a story. So while there is some of the negative impacts that you described, there's also some good in terms of communication. Real quick before I let you go, how important is really accountability and transparency, and what can we do to help fight what is really going on here?
Of course, that's absolutely true. Activists use these platforms to communicate about democracy and autocracies, and accountability and trust are more important than ever. Social media systems and media more broadly have got to work to make sure that they have the trust of their viewers and that they work closely with those viewers to gain that trust.
All right, an evolving topic of conversation, I'm sure. Dr. Samuel Woolley, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Bye-bye.